Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Well, your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Well, your heart is the sun, and it shines.
So what are you calling this? The double ball kill your psoas.
Master Blaster.
Okay, but that's the Master Blaster.
This table seemed a lot bigger before you sat down.
We should have just used that one.
Yeah.
It's much bigger.
All right, so my name is Tim Nelson. This is Wayne. I can forget his last name. So
Wayne doesn't know what he's doing.
no. So you'll see a lot of fancy tools. I'm not saying don't go out and buy them. They're already made. They're out there. Amazon, people's websites. There are a lot of things you can stick to the wall. But you only need duct tape, a softball, and anything this size and hardness. Could be a lacrosse ball, could be baseball. If you need something a little softer, it could also be a T-ball, tennis ball, but for most of what we'll be showing,
Street hockey ball?
Yes, right. But for most of what we'll be showing, you need the density, so get yourself a baseball or a lacrosse ball. All right, so first thing we gotta do, this is for the final product, so you don't have to look at ugly silver duct tape. What you're gonna do is line them up like that, and you're going to create a crisscrossing pattern. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's effective and will last you forever.
Not going to be pretty.
And it probably lasts you forever. So this is, I'll probably speed this up in post-production. It's pretty boring. You're just going to initially create 2 strips. Now with you can try. So while
Maybe you shouldn't use Gorilla Tape because it's really hard to tear.
yeah, you can get a lot cheaper duct tape. So while I'm doing this, which is essentially rubbing down all of the wrinkles so that they don't poke up into you when you're using this.
I'll make mine look really pretty. Because that's what I do.
Looking pretty is your specialty?
Yep. Anybody can do it, it's me.
It's gonna look really ugly, especially in the beginning, but then it's gonna look better.
Oh, okay, I messed up already.
You can even speed things up and have somebody, I guess,
Oh, look at that.
hand you some strips. So make 4. And then 2 spheres are naturally going to want to migrate upon each other, moving around. It's super simple to correct that. You're going to take the center part of the crisscross pattern that you just formed, and you're going to use a lot of force.
I'm very scientific.
Yeah, and then you're going to cinch them down. Yeah, you're right. This stuff is pretty thick. And we look pretty weak.
Mine's looking pretty amazing.
Okay, go around the center. Cinch it down.
Why don't I just do it this way?
Yeah, you can do that. Already it's not really going to move, but since duct tape is relatively cheap and not so fancy hard balls and soft balls are also not very expensive. So if you wanted to, you could make one more crisscross. Fill
We're
in
mostly there.
bare patches.
We both wobble. They fall down.
All right. They base that off you.
Yep. Amazing.
And then you can use as much tape as you want. But all the engineers out there are probably saying to each other, you've already used enough, that thing's not going to move. But that's not the way guys think.
Tim Allen from Tool Time, Tim.
Right.
Duct tape can fix everything.
That's right. Or red green. Keep
Red
Canadian.
green. Red green, even better. And he's a local guy.
That's right. How local? You say loco or local?
Yeah. Hamilton, isn't he?
Okay. I did another crisscross, and then what we're going to do is cinch it down one more time.
Look at how pretty that is.
This time, to cinch down even more, we're going to take the center and rip it like that. There you go.
It's like you're showing off now.
And that way you can really cinch down the middle.
Uh-oh. Duct tape fold over.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
Oh, look at that. Our beautiful assistant.
We're gonna cut it. There we go. There we go.
So once again, that in itself, very little tape, it is not going to move. However, you do want to have something that you can sort of clean and wipe down, especially nowadays. So you can take some colored duct tape. You can find it. We're old. Well, you're very old. I'm real old. He's very old. So the thing is, we lose stuff all the time. So basically, go over all of the bare patches. Probably if you want less wrinkles, you want a thinner
We'll go slower.
type of duct tape that's more malleable. But as you use it, it'll wear, it'll get softer. You don't really feel them, the wrinkles and lumps and bumps. But I thought I was doing myself a favor by getting really thick duct tape. I don't think that was a great idea. See, even I think that I'd be able to see that from anywhere in the house. And
Even you?
Yeah, maybe. This one's pretty, this one's thinner. This actually
Much.
duct tape, not Gorilla Tape. Hey, what about a Gorilla Tape sponsorship?
Oh.
Use Gorilla Tape if you want it to last forever.
And if you want to help make sure that Gorilla Tape sponsors this episode.
Correct.
Or the entire channel.
Correct.
Right.
You see how the thinner stuff folds flatter?
It's much easier to work with.
That's Newton's third law of duct tape.
But it still falls over. You know, it doesn't fall over if you lie it on your side.
Helpful
thinking.
tips.
See?
And I go across.
Essentially, this is for looks because it's pretty.
Just like me.
Matches
I'm
my
for looks.
eyes. And it's also to get rid of any bare surfaces that can't be wiped down. Later on, I'm going to show you how to make them out of wood, not on this episode. And then we'll paint them with a lacquer that will be a lot more cleanable, sanitary. It's just something you will use yourself, so you don't need to worry about it too much. with the wipeability.
Is that a word? It is now.
It's a word. And if you use it, and
Then it's
other people
official?
use it, it's totally a word.
Wipeability. We're official. We should be sponsored by the English language.
Correct.
Coming up with new words. I think we even have an audience heckling us.
That's right. Is it Grammarly that needs to sponsor us?
Oh, Grammarly. Grammarly and Gorilla.
Yes. And Duck. Because really, this is a tape episode. Without the flexible,
Is it
colorful duct tape.
Is it duct tape or duct tape?
It is Duck. According to this brand, it is.
Oh, duck. The duck brand?
You know what the scientific name for a mallard duck is?
No.
Canis platyrincus.
That's good to know. That might explain why they look so funny. And why they're always ducking their heads under the water. They're embarrassed. You know.
Right.
Or the movie.
Right.
We should make this into a movie.
The entire thing, full-length feature film.
Right. We could be like Bob and Doug.
Right. Can you do the?
Tim and Wayne. And our... what are we calling
However, you're overlooking the obvious. Wayne's World.
these? Yeah.
Can you play guitar?
What are we calling these?
This is after 30 years of making these. I just call them blasters.
And they blast your psoas.
They will very appropriately apply pressure to whatever you need to apply pressure to.
Next episode.
Yeah, well, they can't fix that.
Oh, okay.
Although,
With a good amount of
with the right application, the right pressure.
right, the right amount of force can fix any problem.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Are we going to show how to use these things now?
Yes.
You're gonna show how to use these things.
Okay.
They really are a very simple way of creating a tool
Now we
that you can treat the entire, almost the entire human body with, from the neck to the feet. And
Oh, but not that.
no. Wrong. Yes, Dad. So you can do cranial work if you do a still point induction. So really,
Kind of like this.
No,
No, that's not how still point induction goes.
no, that's how you contact the mothership.
We will have to do another episode of the still point in craniosacral
Right. So
Work on your chest.
that's for the gorilla enclosure.
Oh, gorilla.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Where your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Yeah, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Where your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
You say, why
inside?
would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would you
inside?
look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Your
inside?
mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Well, your mind is a space that creates the horizon.
Your mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Well, your mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Say, why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why
inside?
would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would
inside?
you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
You know, you can feel it when you look inside. You know, you can feel it. And it's no surprise.
So we're gonna do the psoas release, right?
That's what we're doing.
So Wayne is gonna add his magic on this video to show you where the psoas is, if you've not seen it from our previous videos. So the psoas attaches on the front of your spine. So you have your spine, this is the back, this is the front. The front of the spine, then it goes in this direction. So like I am right now, and it goes this way on that side and this way on that side. We're touching on the inside of your hip bone here, from the center. We're touching the anterior spine, and the other part, besides it touching on the inside of the ilium, it touches in the inside of your thigh, deep in the tissues in there, into your femur bone. So it has multi-purpose. When you move your trunk forward, it will engage. When you move your leg in flexion, it will engage. When you engage both, it will engage as well. So it has to have a specific way to be released if you want to be effective and release lots of back pain, hip pain, leg pain that you get as a result of the psoas being tight. The psoas is the strongest muscle of your hip as well. So you have to go pretty deep to get that. Now you have to make sure you go at a 45-degree angle if you're going to get into the psoas. So you go from your hip and you go into this direction in a 90-degree angle. So you can kind of feel for it this way, or you can go on the floor. You could do it this way. You can find the muscle by raising your leg. You're gonna feel the muscle hardening under your finger, right like this. And then you know you're kind of on it. Then you're on the floor and you're gonna place the ball, that double ball, in an angle. So you're kind of on the iliac crest and the inside. And then you're gonna lean into this direction in an angle. I'm going to move it over this way. Now you can easily fit. So I have one leg bent, the other one kind of straight, relaxed, and you can definitely feeling the pull into the psoas muscle. How about you, Tim?
Oh, it's hurting.
You feel it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
But then my psoas were already pretty tight, pretty sore.
right. So usually you have one side that's tighter than the other. You can switch and check the other side. Usually I would say my left side is usually tighter. So let's see how it feels there. If it is a bit too painful, then definitely start with your easier side.
Oh wow, that's feeling better. I was expecting my left to be more sore.
Yes, and it can shift back and forth. So you really, I am on the on top of the iliac crest here, in my the anterior side, and then with the, I'm letting the skin and the fascia stretch as I am moving the ball in the inside of that hip girdle in an angle again. So it's kind of like halfway between that anterior iliac structure. We call it ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. And now when you've released that, you can go more to your iliac muscle structures and you angle it the other way, more outward, and you basically are above the inguinal ligament. And you aim this time laterally toward the outside, so this way. And it's gonna get into your iliac muscle. It might feel a little bit of feel like a ripping the tissue apart, the fascia structure. It's gonna feel like a little burning sensation. That's when you know you have tightness there. So I have my feet, my toes on the floor, sliding a bit off the mat here. I straighten my leg. As I straighten my leg, it's going to really do a little bit more stretching of all of the structure. You can stabilize with your hand. Here, since I'm working my left side, I'm using my right hand just to stabilize the blaster, as we call it. And rest your foot, your leg, and lift your leg off the floor again and stretch it. And you can keep your head neutral, so you're more like in a plank. So you're doing a double duty here because you're working on your plank as well.
Something has to get me back in shape.
So you can't stay like this for hours, you saying?
No, maybe not.
No? How come?
I'm old.
So that's really all there is to it. And you're getting core workout at the same time.
Oh, those are hard. And they hurt, but they're good. I have to do that more.
You can do it on the side, and then you do your side plank while you're doing your blaster. Right on two, so you have one leg.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Well, you know. So you can use this same bar for all of this. So you have your hip bone here, and I'm right behind it, right into that gluteal minimus. And I have my top leg just crossing over. Relax your hand, no need to keep going into that flexed position in our body. If it's too much and you're gonna hang in this position for a little while, you can go down to the floor, or you can even put a pillow and just kind of rest like this. I'm laying on my side that I just had my vaccine on yesterday, but But actually, it's not bad. It's not as sore as it was this morning when I woke up.
Yeah. See, I can't go down like that.
You can't go down? Well, why not?
I think this is more than enough pressure.
Okay, well, it's not necessarily going to be more pressure if you go all the way down, because it's going to shift a bit. Actually, I'm feeling it less because the ball did move a tiny bit up, so I'm going to have to move it down a bit more if I want to be on the spot really. So yeah, but then when you go down on the floor, then you kind of tend to move in this position, and really you want to be actually more here, to be more in the back, like to get the gluteal minimus.
Oh, I can feel it. Woo!
So this is really good. And you can do your thing.
No, I don't think I'll do that.
And here. And here.
We'll let Wayne do that.
No, we let Wayne do that. Oh, so that's it with this. And you can move and go down to your IT band.
Oh.
If you can't handle being in the plank position anymore, you just keep moving, and now you're more up here. That's really good for your core.
Or for the old guys, you just sit up.
So you go at your own pace. You can do one spot at a time. If you have your lunch break or just a pee break, whatever it is, from work kind of thing. There's never any excuse. You always can find 30 seconds to do this. You don't have to hold it as long as I did, which was, I don't know, so many minutes. I plank every day, so to me, I guess it's not a big deal, it seems like. I'm in that position literally every day. So that's it for the tip with the blaster. If you want any more information, make sure to comment below, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as we see your comment, or shortly after. If you want to get updates on all of our videos, when we get a new one uploaded, click the bell that Wayne will put somewhere in there, up here maybe, down below, I don't know, and click on that. Every time we have a new video coming on, you will get notified with an email. Alright, thanks for watching!
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines.